Laura here, nice of you to join me. In this video we're going to be doing the last bit of construction for our chest of memories, and we're just going to be doing this box that's going to be housed on the top of our chest of drawers. Now I had a bit of a dilemma. So this one here, this box here, is an actual box with a lid. So it's got the lid, there's your traditional box. Okay, now I was going to make that to go on here, but I didn't really have enough space down the side for the edges. So what I've come up with, and I absolutely love it, I wish I'd have done it on this box now. It's always the way, isn't it? If you, no mistakes are any mistakes in my crafting world are happy mistakes, as they say, or as I say. So, and this one was a real happy mistake. So what I've done is I've done like a flip lid. So it's like a almost a roll lid. So I have a traditional base. Now this one is just my prototype, it's not the real thing, so we will decorate the real one on camera. I just wanted to, this is just my prototype one. So as I say, the roll lid rolls over like so. So I'm going to put a magnet on here with a handle, and then the handle is then going to also be on our drawer. So they're going to look like two drawers, and that's what as well why I wanted to have a flat surface at the front of my box, more so than like a traditional box and lid where you've got this extra part at the bottom. I wanted to look like two drawers, but two different drawers. So I'm so pleased with this, I really am. So that is what we're going to make. Now you can make it with the hole in the top with some acetate on like I have here, or you can have it plain, entirely up to you. Once we get to that stage, if you want to leave it plain, then I'll tell you that to fast forward that part. So you'll have to excuse me, my dogs are going to probably go barking in a minute. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So that's what we're going to be making today. Now if you have got to this video by mistake and you want to see how we've made our actual housing of chest of memories, then head over and click on this link that's going to be up there, and that will take you back to part 1, and you'll be able to see the whole construction of our chest on there. So let's get on with our box. So make a bit of space. Now you will need some grey board. I'm using 2mm thick grey board for this project. Here we go. So you will need some grey board. You will also need a trimmer. You will definitely need some rulers, and you will need a pencil as well, just in case. Now I've got 2 rulers here. Now one's in inches and one's in millimeters or centimeters. We're taking workshops with the lovely Claire Charville, and she was showing us how to make different things and how to measure to make our boxes more accurate, and this is what she does. So this is the inspiration I've got from her doing her workshop. So thanks Claire for the inspiration, you're amazing, thank you. So let's get on with it. So for our box, okay, so we're going to make the box first and then the lid last. So I will put up the measurements somewhere either along the bottom down here, or they might come down the side. It depends when I'm editing where they go. but you will have the measurements there. So if you wanted to pause me to keep you quiet, you could go and then cut them yourself. So our first cut is going to be 6 3/4. Now because this is thick 2mm, my trimmer is not going to go through go through the whole of the grey board in one go, so I have to cut it twice. Okay, sometimes you don't actually get it on, you cut it exactly right, so you end up with little bits. That is the only bugbear I have. I wish somebody would invent a 2mm blade that you could use to cut your grey board out. Would be amazing. So that is our first cut at 6 3/4. So then the next cut is 71mm. Okay, so 71. Turn that over and do it again at 71, like so. So I'm just going to write on here what they are so that I know. 6 3/4 by 71mm, and this is an end. Okay, so the next we're going to cut another one of those, so that would be 71mm by 71mm. As you can see, I've not cut this in a perfect, I've not managed to cut them exactly on the same spot on both sides. That is my only bugbear. So I'm just going to trim this off with some scissors, like so. Okay, I like to have straighter lines. So again, 6 3/4 by 71mm. Okay, end. So the next piece we're going to cut is the sides. So these ones are in millimeters. So this is 172mm. So 172. Now the 2 on this is a bit dodgy because it is covered. So 71. 72, it's just there. So I'm just going to bring that down so it's virtually on the edge. So 1 and 2. Again, I've not managed to cut that straight. Not straight, sorry, exactly on the 2 lines. So that is then, so 172 by 70mm. So that's 70mm there. Turn it over. Again, I've not cut it correctly. I'm not cut it precisely in the same place. So just trimming that bit off. Okay, so that is 172mm by 70mm, and that's a side. And that's, so we need 2 of those, so get them out the way and cut this one again. So this is 172, so I'm going to come cut it along. By 70 mil, I think it was. Yes, by 70. Okay, so right on here again, 172 by 70. So that then is the side. So now we've got to do the base. Now the base is 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. So I think that may be 6 3/4. I think that could be. Let me just turn it that way and try it. I'll cut this little tiny bit off. So 6 3/4. Again, that's hidden. I think that was just a tiny bit that I had there. It wasn't even probably worth doing. So 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. So that then is the base. So I'm going to put base 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. So that then is our box done. So now we're going to cut the lid. Now the lid is this. The lid is 172 millimeters. Okay, so cut that. Turn it over. 172. Like so. I'm just going to cut off that extra piece there. There we go. So 172 by 6 7/8. 6 7/8. So that then is the lid. So that's 172 by 6 7/8. And then for the side, so we only need 2 of these. So this is going to be 176 millimeters. Millimeters by 72. Okay, by 72 millimeters. Okay. I'm gonna have to use so let's write these on. So this is 176 by 72 millimeters, and this is the sides of the box. So you need 2 of these. So that's 1, and then see if I can get. Don't think I've got another one. No. I'm gonna have to, I hate having to get into another box. So 176 176. By 72. 71, 71, 72. There we go. Okay, so our pieces have been cut out now. So this is our box and this is our lid. So to put the box together, if I lay it out, then you can see what it looks like. So, okay, so I'm just going to turn this round. Not that it makes any difference, but so that I can get it right in my head. Now I'm hoping that I've got this correct. Now I'm just going to take this little bit of grey board off. Okay, so we're going to put these two sides together first, okay, and then the end two pieces. So to put these together, you need some glue, and we're just going to put our glue along the bottom here. So let me just get myself in frame, and I just need to put something there. I've got some, because I tend to lean to this side, so if I pull my drawer out and I put something there, it stops me sort of drifting over. So unclog my glue. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue along the bottom there and smooth in place, and then we're going to glue the side onto the top of the base, okay. So if I bring it up, then you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So let's push that on, straighten it up so that it's on the very edge, and just press down. Okay. Now do the other side, the opposite side. Just beads of glue. Do the same. Make sure that it is right on the edge, and your grey board will naturally start to bow, so you will just have to smooth that out and then just bend it back into place. Okay, so these end two pieces, these are going to go right on the end, but not on top of the grey board, but sort of butting up to it. Now this takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it does get easier. There we go, can we see that? And then this is going to fit over the top there. Okay, so we can glue then this side, so glue down the edge, along the bottom, and then up the side. Okay, smooth it out, and then we can stick this one onto the top. and then this covers the edges so that you've got a nice flat edge, she says. There we are. You just have to keep just manoeuvring it back into place like so. Now you can, if you want to, which might make it a little bit easier, is if you wanted to, you could put some tape just to hold it in place. I tend to not do that. I tend to get into more of a muddle if I put the tape on than what I do if I just persevere and muck around. Okay. Now this end piece goes on the end. So do the same, just give it a bead of glue around the edges, smooth it off, and then stick this onto the top. Okay. There we go. Just keep pushing it down until you're happy with it. There we go. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the construction tape. There is quite a lot of different ones out there that you can buy. If you're making this for the first time and you're brand new to album making and box making, and you like the idea of using the tape, you could just use masking tape. If it's going to be your practice one, I would suggest just using cheap masking tape just to practice with, and then I would suggest then going to get some bookbinding tape or construction tape. Now this is the one. This is inexpensive from my Creative Spirit. I think it's something like in the region of £5.50 to £6. I'm not sure of exactly how much the actual price is, but I know it's around that. And you do get 50 meters on a roll, and it does last. I've done possibly out of one roll, I've probably done 3 or 4 memory books plus a couple of boxes as well, so it does go an awful long way. Sorry about that. Right, so what I've done is I've just taped around the bottom of my box, so as you can see, so I've just used one continuous strip all the way around. Okay, so I've taped it half on and half off the sides. Okay, so we're just going to cut into the corners on each of the corners like so. Then we're going to bend one side down. So starting in the middle, ease the tape down onto the grey board. Okay, and then burnish it well so that you've got no air bubbles in that. Then working onto the next side, I'm just going to cut a small triangle off, okay, off one side, and then I'm going to stick this one down. Okay, So then you just do exactly the same, you just ease it down. So start in the middle and then work down and then out to the sides. Okay, like so. Okay. And then do the same, put a triangle on this corner and then work this side down. Again from the middle and then work down. Now you might get some creases, it doesn't matter too much. Okay, and then this end piece, this last piece, we're going to chop off the corners on both sides and then just ease it down. Okay, so I've got my old tatty t-shirt on today. It's my painting t-shirt, so there we are. So that's the bottom done. So now we're going to do the same around the top edge. Okay, so again you just need a nice long continual strip. Let me just put my little marker back on. Now let's find where the little, oh, was that good? I can't find the end. That must have been there. There we go. That's the end. So I want this end to the same side. So start in the middle, again half on, half off, and then just bring your tape all the way around. Okay, like so. Okay, like so, and meet up. Okay, now if you've got titanium scissors, they work fantastic for this technique because the tape doesn't stick to your scissors or doesn't stick as much. So I'm just going to go around and burnish those edges, the sellotape, the construction tape, just so that I've got a really nice stick. Again, I'm going to chop into the corners. Okay, on all four sides or all four corners, and then you're just going to ease them down like so. The first one, just ease down. Now I've probably not got, I've probably done I've done more on this side than I have on the inside, but it shouldn't matter too much because I am going to cover this with card. So let's bring these down and push them down and into the corners and just burnish the top and then push down so that we get a nice stick, and again on this side. So if I was you, I would go more half and half than 3/4 and 1/4. But once I put my cardstock around, it's not going to make too much difference. Okay, what I need to do now is we need to sorry, that's come out wrong. We need to tape the corners of our box. So once I get the end of my tape, just okay, so again half on, half off, and we're just going to cut off a little bit so you've got a little bit of an overhang. Okay, burnish that down. Then we're going to burnish the next part down as well. So we've got this part done. Now we need to do this part. So just push that across and burnish that down, and then just snip in to that corner, so where the tape gives you that natural corner, just chop into that. And we're just going to move that bit over, and then I'm going to bring that down with a bit of tension, just pull it taut so that you create a nice finish. And again with the top, push that down and push that one down. Okay, and then go ahead and do all the other corners as well, exactly the same. Okay, that's then all our corners of our box done. Now, to paint, if you wanted to, excuse me, the corners, you could paint them with paint, or we could do the same thing as what we've done and use our construction strips. It really doesn't matter, it's the same effect either way. If I show you one, so this is one that I've done where I've painted the inside of my box. Okay, right. So that's painted. That probably needs a bit of a clean. It's just where all the dust has got. So that's painted. Or we can you can do the construction strips. Now we can do the construction strips. I think that's what we'll do because we've done that on all the other parts of our chest. So let's measure them, because this is one thing I've not done. So for our construction strips, there need to be, if we do 4 at 2 5/8, so let me write this down so I don't forget myself. Piece of card. So do them in your black cardstock or whichever cardstock you are going to use. So I've just got some here. So we're going to go with our biggest first, which is 6 by 5. So that's there. That in there. Okay. By 1 inch. So we want. I'm going to do it the other way. 1. And then we want 2 5/8 by 1 inch. 4. And then what we're going to do is we need to score all of those pieces by 1/2 inch. So get your trusty scoreboard out. and your scoring tool. Go. I'm getting attacked by insects tonight. You've got flies. Now I've got Daddy long legs. Okay, so 1/2 inch down the long side. Okay, so the short edge along the top and then the long side down the side, and then they need to each be scored by 1/2 inch. Now I am going to just crease these score lines a bit more. Now this is an amazing tool, I have to say. It comes from a company called Cool Cat Crafts, and that's Cool Cats Crafts, and the cats is spelt with a K, and it's a Teflon all-purpose tool, so you can use it as a spatula, as a paint stirrer. You can use it obviously to score with, but because it's Teflon, you don't get, especially if you're using black cards, you don't get that shine that you would get if I use my normal bone folder. So let me show you. If I score that, and then if I use my bone folder, can you see, hopefully you can see that shine, okay, compared to when I've used the Teflon one, you don't get that shine. So it's an amazing tool, it really is. So it's, you know, you can use it for all sorts of things, but it's especially great for creasing your scores. And I've never seen a tool that you get such a sharp crease from before. Now I've just got here, this is 1/4 inch score tape. You can use glue if you like, but we're just going to put our double-sided tape on the outside of our structure strips. Now when I say the outside, what I mean is you've got the mountain fold upwards, so that's the valley. If I turn it that way, you can see valley fold is in the middle, and then mountain fold is the top, so it means with the creases on the outside. So you need to double side both sides of that scored piece, like so, and also your little pieces as well. So what we do is we're going to put the longer pieces in first. So these pieces are going in first. Okay, so you may need a pokey tool. I love that word, pokey tool. I just think it's such a good word for a tool. Okay, then with the double-sided taken off, you're going to put the crease right into that corner. Okay, so where the two pieces of the grey board meet, you're going to put that crease into that into that sort of crevice. So push it up as far as it will go, and then you just need to stick to push it into place. Then using your bone folder, just burnish that in to get that double-sided tape to stick. bit, the last one goes in that tiny corner. This one is a bit too big, so just do your snippy snip, just a tiny bit off, just so that it doesn't fit as snugly, and then burnish into place. Now we're going to do the top ones. Now, sorry, not the top ones, the actual corners that go up. So I always do these ones last, because then what happens is they hide any parts that you've got that doesn't actually fit. So it's that's why I like to do these ones last. So let's take these off like so, push them in, and these are about the right height, so don't need to snip anything off of that. So that then is our box base done. So bring in your chest of drawers that you've done and just double check that it fits, and yes, that's fitting perfectly in there, so that's I'm happy with that. That's gonna so bring in then your lid. Now let me turn this up this way so you can see the measurements. Now, as you can see, one side is longer than the other, okay, as you can see there. You need to put it so that they become level with one of the sides of your base bit, okay, because that's how it's going to sit. So that's obviously the top, and then the back and the front, or the front and the back, whichever way. But before we then start to bind it all together, we need to go around our edges to make all our edges black. But we're not going to do this side or that side, okay? We're just going to do the tops, the sides of the smaller ones and the bottom. So only 3 sides, 2 sides, okay? We're not going to bind in the middle, because it's just a waste of tape. So again, it's just the half on, half off. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. This one is a half. This one goes on the very edge, that tiny edge of your board. That's where that goes. So, and then we're going to go all the way round, burnishing that corner, sorry, that tape along that tiny edge. Just snip that off, okay, go. Chop into the corners, so it's exactly the same as the box, but just on a smaller scale. So I've snipped all the corners on both sides of the tape, and then I'm just going to start in the middle and just burnish that down, okay, that one side like that, okay. So that has got caught, so just get that out, okay. So with this now, we're going to just take a tiny triangle off that side, that sort of corner that you've already snipped into. So you can see here, it looks like it's very straight. So we're just going to chop it off so that we've got an angle, okay. Chop it off so we've got an angle. Take off all these tiny little bits. I've got these all around my house, these tiny little bits. They get stuck to my shoes and stuck to my clothes, stuck to the dogs. There. So that is one side done. Okay, just give that a burnish down. Just use my tool just to get that all the creases out if you've got any creases. Okay, so that's one. Let's do the other side. And push this in like that. Oh, sometimes that does happen, it does split, but not to worry, because we'll just put that bit over the top. It's just if I've been a bit too robust with it. There we are. Okay, just chop off the end. Okay, I'm just going to chop these bits off here, like so, and that bit like so, and then just chop into the corners here. We didn't do that, I forgot to do that on those. So then push them down, and then again just chop off so you create a little bit of an arrow, and then from the middle just work that tape down like so. So that then is another one done. So for this one we're just going to do the top edge, no sorry, we're going to do this edge here and this edge here. Just double check, yes. So then that's all our pieces now edged. So now we come to stick it together so that we can create that hinge. So you need a nice long piece. Now what I tend to do, because I stand up and craft, I tend to cut a nice piece off, or sorry, just unroll a piece of tape, and then let the tape, the end of the tape, the sort of the reel, dangle down the side, and then it then just gives me a nice sort of control to work with. So with this we're just going to put the one piece of grey board. It doesn't matter which side you start with first, but I'm starting with the middle piece, and you're going to get one of your side pieces, and it just goes on the top. Now you want to try and line it up so that it's square with that grey ball piece underneath. Then you're going to tilt it up and then push down so that the edges of the grey board make contact with that construction tape at the bottom. Then just to help that, we're just going to run our finger along the edge of this grey ball piece so that it just firms up that bond. So again, so once we've done that, we need to then open it out, but as we open it out you need to just spread out that construction tape so that you've got a nice gap in between. Okay, once you've got the gap that you want, or you need, you just bring that piece of tape over and then bring up the reel and just snip off a part. Okay, there we are. So I'm going to just push that, and then with a bit of tension on this strip of tape, just pull that over. That's just a bit too much. Okay, and then burnish that down. Okay, so that's then created your one hinge. Okay, so now we need to do exactly the same with the other side. So again, nice strip of tape. Let's put this half on, then your piece over the top to square it up. Okay, bring it over and then just spread it apart so that you've got your nice gap in between. The gap that's in there is probably about a 4 millimeter. It's like 2 widths of your grey board. So with a bit of tension, bring that end strip up, and then the bottom strip, bring that up with a little bit of tension so that it's going to create a nice bond. You don't have too many creases in it, and then just burnish that down. And that should be then the top of our box done. Right, that's moment of truth. Yay, it fits. So before we glue this on, you need to now make a decision whether or not you're going to cut out a hole or you're going to leave it plain like so. So that's your options, okay? So if you're going to leave it plain, don't do anything, skip this part. But if you're going to cut out this window, this is what we need to do. So you will need to excuse my very, very messy cutting mat. I've had this probably since I first started crafting, and it has been everywhere. It's been on the desk, and it's been cut down to size. It's got stamps on, I think. Yes, so there's lots of things. So this is like a map of my crafting life, if you so wish, before we got glass boards. But I can't put the glass board on here because it's glass, it reflects, so it doesn't make for a very good video. So getting your trusty ruler. This ruler, if you haven't got these rulers are amazing. They are, this one is from Tim Holtz, and it's an inch ruler. So each thick line is a 1/4 inch, and then in between those thick lines you've got a dotted line. Now that is the 1/8. Okay, so it makes it so much easier and so quicker to measure, because normally you would be measuring at this end 4 inches and this end 4 inches, then you would draw a line. This you don't need to. So you just measure up your lines and then you mark. So this is a 1.5 inch width of ruler, this side. So we're just going to have an inch border all the way round. So you can go less if you want to. If you wanted a smaller window, obviously go down, but I wouldn't go any bigger than a 1 inch border. Okay, so we're just going to have a 1 inch. So I'm just going to draw my line, and again on this side. Now I do apologise if you can't see, but I am just measuring an inch. Okay, now I'm not going over my black cardstock with the over my black construction tape, because I don't want to see pencil lines, so I'm only going up to that. Okay, but I am measuring from the end of the grey board. So again, all the way around. So then you've created your window size. So you need then a very big craft knife. Try and make sure it's sharp, and very carefully. And if you are making this with children, then I wouldn't allow them to use the knife. You know, if you do this part, then they're not going to injure themselves. So just bear that in mind. So with your craft knife, I'm just going to measure, sorry, just remove, I can't even get my words out now. I'm just going to maneuver my ruler in place, and then I'm just going to cut down that pencil line. Okay, because this is thick grey board, you may need to go over it a few times. Okay, so that's one. So let's two. Oh, one more to go. Take that one out. So then that is your window that is going to go on your box. Like so. Oh, that way. There we are. So that then is your box lid. So just to get it so that it is actually attached, you need to make sure that your 172 by 70 inch side is the sides that you use for your lid, because if you did it with this side, it doesn't fit. Okay, it's too big. Okay, it needs to be that side. Okay, like so, so that it fits really snug. So we need a ton of double-sided tape and glue. So for the double-sided tape, we are going to put it all the way over this side, and we're going to do this side, and we're also going to do the box as well. So I'm just creating a nice even straight line. Okay, there. So that's one side. Only do one side, we're not going to do the other side because we're going to put a magnet on there. So then we need to do the side of your box. I'm just going to make sure I'm going to have the right correct box side. Yep. So again, double-sided all the way along. And this is not going to go anywhere. Now this one I've got here, this is I think this is 5/8 size. I think it's just one that I had in my drawer. So you could just use, if you didn't have this width of tape, you could use a 1/2 inch, or you could just use your 1/4 inch one and just go round the outside and put 2-3 lines down and then glue all the way in the middle. I'm just putting loads on because I know it's going to get a lot of wear, and because I had that tape handy, I thought it would be rude not to use it. So take off the backing strips. like so. So that's one side. Take off the backing strips of this. You know, please leave me some comments down below. I love to read all your comments, and I do answer every single one that I get once I've seen it. So yeah, tell me in the comments down below what you would like to see in future videos. If you would like me to go right back to basics and start from the beginning, then please, yeah, let me know in the comment down below what you'd like me to do, and what your favourite paper pads may be as well. Yeah, leave me a comment, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see what everybody's different tastes are. So with your glue, we're just going to put it all the way over our double-sided tape. Now the reason I do that is that it gives you a bit of wiggle time. Now for some unknown reason in my tape here, I've ended up with some pieces of grey board cuttings that I didn't really want in there, otherwise it was not going to make my book very, it's going to give me lots of lumps and bumps. Right, so we just put another little bit on there. Like so. And take that bit off. Right, and then glue all the way over. Okay, now that will give you a bit of, as I say, wiggle time to move it into position. Okay, so there's no easy way to do this, so I'm just going to stick it down and then just I can't get that word out, maneuver it into place as it's in there. Okay, and then when I'm happy with that, we'll just burnish that down. Okay, like so. And then that, I'm really excited, is our box lid opened. So then you can put your, when I get it out, you can put then your album in. Okay, and flip that over. And then that goes on the top of our chest. And then it fits just snugly, and it looks like you've then got two drawers. Although they're not, this is a box, but it looks like two drawers. Now you could put something in the top here that you could even maybe put a mirror in here, or get some of that mirror mist that you can get, that you can put. Oh, that would be fantastic. That would be really good. Get some acetate and paint it with some mirror mist to create your mirror. So this would be a mirror. So that would be a good. And then when you opened it up, you'd have a mirror. That's an idea. So anyway, so I'm going to leave that here for this video, because I think this is going to be another 40-odd minute one. Although we have done a complete box, so we've worked really hard today. Thank you for joining me and for sticking with me through this series of videos. We are going to start with our album next. So yay, start with one of our albums. I don't really want to show you what's inside. Alright, we'll show you a quick, shall I show you a little quick sneak peek of what we're going to do. So we get this out. Okay. So I'm going to just flip it open. So this then is our first page. Okay, this is my prototype. This is just one. This is album 1. Okay, so this is the prototype of what we're going to do. So I'm not going to go into full detail. I'm just going to show you that there's a bit more to this page than meets the eye. So then we come to the next one. Okay, again, a lot more to this page than meets the eye. Okay, both of those pages. Oh, and the same with these ones, completely different. So, and this one I haven't finished those yet, so they are coming. Okay, and again the end one. So that's something to look forward to in the next one. So we're going to be doing that in whichever part it is, I can't remember. But yeah, so we're going to be doing album 1 in our next one. So stick that back in and put that in there. So again, thank you for joining me. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. If you are, thank you very much for subscribing and supporting me. Please hit that notification bell when you subscribe. That way you will get all the information and all my videos that come onto YouTube straight into your inbox so that you don't miss a thing. Come and follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I post on them quite a lot. Same with Pinterest. I have a Facebook group called Memories Paper Art. So come and check us out on there. We're a friendly bunch, and you can see all my goings on there, as well as other people's makes and creations that they upload. So again, thank you for watching, and oh, I just have to show you this before we go. I love it. I don't know if you've noticed my nails through the video, but I've just got this brand new nail varnish, and I love it. It's magic. Watch. So this is wet wipe. Look, it's colour changing. How good is that? Oh, sorry, I had to show you that. Thanks for watching. See you again. Bye. And your scoring tool. Go. I'm getting attacked by insects tonight. Got flies. Now I've got daddy long legs.